got to thinking. Maybe I'm the Dragonborn, and I just don't know it yet.
In all my years, I've never seen such a thing. You can sell off that junk at bits and pieces.
They say Ulfric Stormcloak murdered the High King with his voice, shouted him apart.
If you're heading to the Blue Palace... if you ever want to replace those old rags, stop by Radiant Raiment.
Behrend said you got here just before the execution. Must have been a lovely first sight. Baron's my husband. He works the forge up at Castle Dower. I barely see him nowadays, what with him filling orders for the army. No, that was an ugly affair. High King Torig's death has turned the whole town on its head. Between you and me, he wasn't even that good a king. All of those rambling speeches about the Empire this and the Empire that. Take a look. Come back to Bits and Pieces anytime.
You know you can afford a septim or two.
Feel free to make requests. There's nothing like a good song to lift the spirit in troubled times. Only in that I'm a graduate. I work here at the Winking Skeever. I would highly recommend it, though. Talk to Viarmo if you're interested. Oh, no. But being surrounded by good music, good drink, and good friends is all I've ever asked for. You should think about staying the night. Corpulus keeps a clean inn. Good evening. I'm Pantia Atia, the master vocalist. I'm a bard from the Bard's College here in Solitude. Wanderers like you should think about applying. Now you can say you've met the most talented bard in all of Skyrim. Have a drink, rest your feet, and stay a little while.
Spiced wine, the taste of home and heart.
Hey,
Papa
wanna
says
play
I
tag?
won't see Rog here anymore. But he wouldn't tell me why not.
Youngest bard at the Bard's College, at your service. I'm a bard from the Bard's College here in Solitude. Wanderers like you should think about applying. I'm glad I could help.
Welcome to the Bard's College. I'm the headmaster here. How may I help you? Always a pleasure to meet a prospective bard. You should be aware that many apply, but we accept very few people. When possible, we ask applicants to perform tasks the college needs completed. In this case, I do have a task befitting an aspiring bard. Elisif has forbidden the burning of King Olaf, a festival put on by the Bard's College. We need to change her mind. To convince her, I want to read King Olaf's verse. a part of the Poetic Edda, the living history of
We
Skyrim.
drink to our
Unfortunately,
youth,
the verse
to
was
the
lost
days
long
come and
ago.
gone, for the age of aggression is just
Yes,
about
according to
done.
Giraud, our history's keeper, the portion of the Edda
We'll
dealing
drive
with
out
King
the storm
Olaf might
cloaks and
still
restore
exist
what we
in Dead
own.
Man's
With our
Respite.
blood and our steel,
I
we
need
will
you
take
to
back
retrieve the
our
poem.
home. Down with Ulfric the killer of kings. On the day of your death,
Not much,
we will drink
but as a
and
bard, I
we'll
find the
sing.
whole affair depressing.
We're
There
the
are no
children of
heroes in this
Skyrim,
war,
and
no
we fight
winners to be
all
had,
our
and no
lives.
real
And when
conclusion.
Southern
If you
guard
want
beckons,
something a
every
bard
one
can
of
dig
us
into,
does.
look to the dragons. 1,000 years from now,
This
Skyrim
land
will
is
have changed
ours,
rulers
and we'll see
dozens
it
of
wiped
times.
clean
But the
this
return of the
rage that
dragons,
has sullied
that
our
story
hopes
is
and
once in
our
an era.
dreams. Down
Not much,
with
to be honest.
Ulfric the killer
Their
of
return was a
kings.
shock
On
to
the
us
day
all.
of your death,
Gerard
we will
Germain has some
drink
tomes
and
about
we'll
them in the
sing.
library if you're interested. I wish you luck, and I have faith that you'll return with King Olaf's verse. I think Giraud here would give you the best explanation of both it and the history of King Olaf's verse. You should speak to him about it. As you may be aware, Elisif's husband, High King Torig, was recently killed. Elisif mourns her husband deeply, and she feels that a festival that burns a king in effigy is distasteful. I tried to convince her the festival is many centuries old and celebrates solitude, but I need proof. I believe King Olaf's
This is an
verse
ode to
will provide
Skyrim's
that
staunch
proof.
protectors.
I wish you luck in finding the verse.
Good to meet a prospective bard. He's sending you after King Olaf's verse, then. That's good. We shouldn't leave it lying around now that I figured out where it is. The verse was Svafnir's contribution to the Poetic Edda, the living history of Skyrim. Each bard adds to the Edda in his or her time. And a very ancient one. The verse criticized the reigning King Olaf. He was so incensed the bard was put to death and all the copies burned. At least, that's what we thought until I translated some ancient texts a year or so ago. We now believe King Olaf buried the truth with the bard. If I'm right, Svafnir and King Olaf's verse lie in Dead Men's Respite, along with the burial chamber of King Olaf himself. Be careful. You might find more than just King Olaf's verse in Dead Man's Respite. Ildi, what year did the Aldmeri Dominion invade the Empire? Good, Ildi.
I'm
soak in
Dean
the
of
lore.
Lute at the Bard's
Bjorn,
College,
what
and
happened
no,
during the
I don't
Red
give
Year?
private lessons.
Morrowind suffered a massive explosion?
Vardenfell's Red Mountain erupts. Try to be precise, Jorn. Remember, being a bard isn't just about the music.
Youngest bard at the Bard's College, at your service.
It takes two things to be a good teacher. The first is patience. The second is a firm wooden stick for rapping knuckles.
Dean Inga says a bard can never have enough practice. So, would you like a tune? Need something?
Hey, wanna play tag?
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Been too long since we've had a good bandit raid.
Seems there's no end to the needs of the Imperials. But what can I help you with? Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. Return. Wanderer, looking to protect yourself or deal some damage? Keep safe and always wear your armor.
Pine Moon Cave is down to the southwest, but it ain't fit for exploring. There are stories. Vampires, some say. Go fiddling with any locks around here, you're going to have a real problem.
Is this about the stables? My husband Gaiman handles the business.
You got business at the stables? Work hard for the future and leave the past be. That's my motto. Been about 8 years now. I used to be a mercenary, but one trip to Ravenscar Hollow cured me of that. There's hag ravens in that cave with talons like daggers. They'll open your bowels quick as you wink if you let them get close. A creature like that'll make a man think long and hard about what he wants out of life. That's what I'm here for. What are you offering? Good enough for me. It's the one with the saddle. If you're heading up to Solitude, you should stop to check out the view on your way. It's a good one.
Jürgen and I both work hard, all the time. Murthal is important to both of us. I don't get many customers, but that leaves me time to try things out. Experiment, I guess. It's amazing how much you can learn from a book. Here, let me show you some of the things the temple healers taught me about potions. Take a look. Until next time.
Well, look at you. If only everyone acted like you did. There is room in my court for a new Thane. It's an honorary title mainly, but there are a few perks someone like you could make use of. However, I could only grant the title to someone who is known throughout my hold. You help my people, and I'll make you my Thane. As you wish.
There ain't much to offer, but if you want a place dry to spend the night, I'll rent you a room. Running an inn weren't my plan, but Follian decided to move here, so I joined him. Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry.
Oh, Gorm.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Not right now. Anything new?
I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
I tell you, something's got to be done.
When the time is right, friend. When we're sure.
The longer
Let me
we
know if
wait,
there's anything else
the
you
worse
need.
it gets.
Let's talk about it some other time.